PCS Laundry Live. Back again on a Friday night. Ready to dance into the weekend with my PCS family. Sitting here in front of the Charles L. Bryant United States Federal Courthouse. About a block down the street from the Lexington Laundromat in White Plains, New York. Where my clothes are currently in the dryer. And we got an hour to kick around whatever you want to kick around, as it always goes. Welcome, 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 everybody. Got a beautiful kind of night here in White Plains, New York. It's hot, man. It's almost, I think we almost hit 90 today. And it's a little overcast and it's a little bit muggy, but it's not a bad night. We haven't had rain in like 3 weeks on Friday night, which is miraculous. So things are starting to turn around. Things are getting better. Things are picking up. We're going to say some quick hellos to Joe Yee, Lisa Barley Spring. Deborah Patera is watching, but not posting because she's in the Who's Gal once again. So everybody shout out to Deborah Patera. She's not going to be commenting tonight, but she's watching from Facebook jail. That's the spirit, Deborah. We love you. And don't bend over for the soap. Or do if you whatever. But 30 days, just tough it out, And we'll see you when you get back. We got Sally Hackney here. We got Bessie Dotson. We got Rita Alsabrook, which looks like a new name. Welcome to PCS Laundry Live Friday night. New people checking in. Quick rundown. This is a completely interactive live show. 60 minutes of live talk on whatever you guys bring. I'll kick it off with a couple minutes. Then you guys just jump right into the comments. Tell us your name. Tell us if you're new. Tell us where you came from, where you live, whatever you feel like comfortable disclosing to us. And we will welcome you into the PCS family, just like we do everybody. As always, thank you so much to everyone for your never-ending support of Planet Common Sense on Facebook, PCS Laundry Live on Friday nights, and every ridiculous harebrained scheme and project we think up to try. You guys are always there, and I could not do it without you. It's been a pivotal week. And it's been all good as far as PCS goes. There's other things we can talk about tonight too, but it feels like we turned a corner this week, technically, and in a lot of other things. And we'll go into that as we go along. But it's just a better feel this week. Like I feel like a lot has been lifted off me. I got some things done that I needed to get done from a lot of standpoints, and again, we'll talk about that as we go, but we get a couple more hellos and we'll get right into things. Pinky Williams is here. We got Mona Eves here. We got Linda Bleefnick is here. We got, I think I said hi to everybody. Greg Johnson, Mary Gunny's in there. Judy Westcott Grove. Tulsa, Oklahoma says hello. Bob Martin, evening all. Welcome, Bob. Al Carpenter is watching. Man, I got to tell you all, there's something here. See, we were talking about a minute ago about these harebrained schemes. And this is something that popped up on the watch party last night, and I've been noticing it here on the live shows, is that some people, when they come on, there's an icon that says the person is watching, and you can bring them on camera, which I guess means you got a live camera on your phone, and we can bring you on the show. And I don't know what to do with that yet. I got to think about it a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm not going to do it just yet. And it was on the watch party deal too, where during the watch party, like I could click something and it puts me on, and I guess it goes on live just like this, so we would still be able to see the party, but I'd be able to like comment live, which is, you know what, it would be great. And I'll tell you why, because I don't type talking fast enough to keep up with the thoughts in my head or the way I speak. And when we were watching that party, we were watching those debates last night, and they were saying stuff I wanted to respond to, and I just couldn't get my fingers to work fast enough. So maybe that's another option, but we're going to experiment with that. I think maybe we'll do a couple of trial runs on some just like random drive-by live shots during the week just to see how that works. And we'll definitely try a few more watch parties and see if it works for that. But that could be a cool thing. It could suck. You know how that works. If it sucks, we don't do it anymore. If it's cool, we keep on rolling with it. The YouTube channel is up, and I just wanted to say an extra thank you to a lot of people. And I put out the call this week. The thing with YouTube is We have a dedicated YouTube channel now for Planet Common Sense. Nothing but PCS on there. And all that's on there right now is the 21 previous PCS Laundry Live full episodes. You can go there and browse through them and watch. The other thing on YouTube is the ability to have a second platform to do the live broadcasts. And there's a split screen thing where I'm pretty sure, and again, there's another one of my experiments, that I can do the live show on Facebook as well as YouTube at the same time, which would be kind of cool too, because it saves me the hassle of having to download it and then upload it and then all that bullshit, because then I'll forget or I'll get lazy and I won't do it. And it'll just, anyway, you get the idea. The thing about it is, you cannot use that platform to broadcast live until you have 1,000 subscribers. So I put the call out this week. And I know it's tough, man. Like, people don't want to just keep on clicking new things and, go join up here and go follow me here and go do this here, and go Twitter and everything else. The YouTube channel, I put the call out to you guys and I explained the situation. I got about 130 people just jumped right on board. So we're still a long way off from 1,000. But I appreciate you jumping in on that very, very much. We'll get there eventually. I'm not going to be a big douche about it and just haunt you all every day. Get over there, get over there. I'm not going to do it like that. We'll let it happen as it happens. I'll talk about it maybe once or twice a week so we can get a few more people in there. And then, like I said, once we hit 1,000 people, then we can broadcast live on the YouTube platform as well. It might end up being better than Facebook. Might be able to do both of them. It just opens up some doors, and we'll see what we can do with all of that. So I'm going to catch up on a few more scroll names and get everybody welcomed in and settled in. And then we're going to move right into the cool stuff. We got Lyndall Sky. No way I'm going to say this name right. And you've been around a long time and you haven't popped up much. So just bear with me. Lyndall Skya. I'm so sorry. Tell me how to say the last name. You've been around a long time, but I haven't seen you on the show before. So thanks for jumping in. Betsy Believable is here as long as PCS is good. Rob Kushmir is here. Greg Johnson. We got Marion Reali. Hello from North Carolina. And I think you're a new name, so welcome to PCS Laundry Live. Jump right in and have some fun with us. Jim Thomas is here. Unofficial legal representation for Planet Common Sense on Facebook, PCS Laundry Live. Welcome to the broadcast consigliere. Bill Graham is in the house. Carrie Dole is here. Kathy Michaels here. Sherry Seifert is watching with us. Liz Palmer McKenzie. All the regulars are here. We got some great stuff to get into. All right, I'm just going to jump right into this, okay? Because we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. Excuse me, a little coffee there. This coffee's been sitting in the pot since like Tuesday, it tastes like, but you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, we made a big jump this week, which I guess you could probably figure out just from what I'm saying, but I'm just going to let the camera speak for itself for the next couple of minutes. And just bear with me on this, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Okay, so just chill for a minute. I'm still here. Everybody hang in there. Okay, so as you can see, unless I just completely fucked up and was completely off the camera, we got shirts. The shirts are real and the shirts are live and they are here, and it is real, man. We really dove into this. So we got the Planet Common Shirts I can't even say it. Planet Common Sense t-shirts. I hope you like the design. It's pretty simple, but it gets the point across, and it's just our first endeavor into that. So the shirts are available. A couple people have them on the way to them already. If you are interested in a shirt, the easiest way and the quickest way to get the shirt is if you have the Venmo app. I have Venmo for electronic payment. Venmo me at Glenn-Hazelwood. send me $23, and we're going to talk about that in a minute because it's a little different than when you first heard it. And you Venmo me $23. I have shirts in stock. I can send them out this weekend. You can have them in your hand early next week. If you do not have the Venmo app, Plan B, email me at planetcommonshirts@gmail.com, and I'll give you information about other payment methods to obtain one of these shirts. Again, get a quick look. PCS t-shirts. So I'm not going to be a big whore about this and just hype the shirts and just keep talking about it. They're here. I'll mention them during the week. I'll put links up. And if you want a shirt, let me know. Now, the pricing on the shirt. Now, when I first started talking about this a couple weeks ago, I said, and I'm going to eat this one and I'm going to own this one. I was very adamant about saying it was $20. There wasn't going to be shipping, no extra fees, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Here's the problem. I went and I sent the first couple of shirts out, and the shipping was just way, way more than I thought it was going to be to send the shirts. I don't mail shit. Like, I don't know from like putting a stamp on an envelope and mailing stuff. So I just kind of was unaware of the cost involved. And it was a hell of a lot more expensive. And it's just flat out, as much as I hate doing it, I can't not put a small shipping fee on. Just to get started, man, once I get things rolling and things take hold, as soon as I cannot do that anymore, I'm going to bring it back down to the 20. But as of right now, it's going to be $20 for the shirt, $3 for shipping and handling, which just covers part of the cost. Trust me, it's not the whole cost of the shipping. It was a hell of a lot more than I thought it was going to be. But we're moving on with this. I have them in stock in small, medium, large, and extra large. If you need bigger than extra large or smaller than small, I can order them. Or if you need, also the shirts are all men's cut. If you prefer a women's cut, I can order them as well. We are absolutely going to be doing another order within, at the very most, 2 weeks, possibly less than that, depending on how things go. And they turn them around to me pretty quick, and I can get them out to you pretty quick. So that's pretty much how it's going to work. $23 total. If you Venmo me, somebody make my phone ding, man. That'd be awesome, because like the Venmo app's pretty badass. It does a little cha-ching when somebody pays on Venmo. So you send me $23 on Venmo tonight during the show. You're going to have a shirt early next week, just like the one I was just wearing. So, let me just go back and see anybody. Yeah, I didn't even check to see if you could see me. I guess everybody saw me all right. Love the shirts. Nice shirt. PCS same icon. Okay, somebody was talking about where to go. Yeah, welcome newbies. What page is on YouTube? That's from Chad Connor. We'll get to that. I'm going to post links for the YouTube channel, Chad. Thanks for asking, man. It's kind of a big deal to me. But we'll talk about that as we go. But all right, so I guess you saw the shirt. Dwayne Darla Elkins, is his lighter working? The lighter is still out of commission. We're going to a Bic. I wasn't even thinking about smoking, but you said that. Now I'm going to smoke. See what you made me do? All right, here goes the one that I'm going to light. Oh, one shot. Good to go. I'm sweating, man. Like, I was really nervous about the shirt thing and my little prance there. I hope I didn't look like an asshole. But, you know, we just do what we do. And that's the way it goes. But sounds like you guys like the shirts, and I'm glad. Darlie, you got one coming. Jim, you got one coming on the way already. Betty said, strike a pose. Betty Hernandez. Hey, y'all, happy Friday from B. Marie, who is here. Judy Westcott Grove, it worked. Good. Lisa Barley Spring, got to check out the shirts for my kids and myself. Just been busy this week. I'll post links for the shirt, and I'll definitely give you all the info on the shirt again on the little scrap papers that I wrote out before I wrap up tonight. And that's it. We're in the t-shirt business now, so keep your fingers crossed. And, you know, you guys have been supporting me all along, and I can't ask you for anything more. And I hope you like this shirt, and I hope you buy some shirts and take pictures of them wearing them and send them to me so I can put them up on the site. And that's it on the shirts for now. It's going to hand it over to you. What do you guys got? We had a million things this week. We had Democratic debates. We had Alexandria Ocasio circus monkey striking a fake pose at the border at some parking lot by a fence and just making funny faces at the camera. We had, I don't know, man, that's a lot to talk about in itself right there. The watch parties, guys, blew me away with the watch parties this week. It was just nuts. Wednesday night, I didn't know what the, you know, we just mess around with the watch parties, and we did the ones with previously recorded PCS Laundry Lives just to test it out and see how it went. We did a couple of those. They went okay. We did this watch party on Wednesday night for the debate, and man, When I looked at it the next day, there was like 2,400 comments on the thread in 2 hours. Like, what? And I was like, I always like to try and go back and hit everybody, but I'm just like, there's just no way. I'm reading 2,400 comments. I mean, I got to, I'm at work. I got a job to do too. And then we did it again last night with the main event. The real psychos came out last night. I'm talking about on the debate panel, not on the watch party, because we're all just what we are. And it was even bigger. We had 2,600 comments on that. Got out to a whole bunch of people. We hit about 15,000 screens between the two nights. So the Democratic Hunger Games debate watch parties were a huge success. And thank you to everybody who joined in. I had a lot of fun doing it. It seemed like you guys all did too. I hope you did. And let me know about that. So what else we got? What are we going to talk about tonight? Let's see. Kevin Kessler. Everyone should send him 25 minimum. Help our brother out. You know what? Who am I to say that a request like that, you guys can, you can certainly do that. You can absolutely, you can send me any amount of money you want on that. Go right ahead. Thank you, Kevin Kessler, for putting that one out there. Would have been kind of uncool for me to say it, but please feel free to add a tip on. Things are tough, man. Jim Thomas, Megan Rapinoe scored both goals today. Where is Tanya Harding? What, to wreck her knee? I want to see her catch one right in the face. You know what? Because she's just a miserable goat. She's a reptile, that disgusting woman. You don't kneel. You don't disrespect my country and wear it on your jersey. You're a pig. You're a pig. I hope you get a soccer ball right in the mush, you pig. That's how I hope it ends. I hope they win, but I hope like in the last minute of like a 7-0 lead in the championship game, you get one right in the tits. I really do. Those little pancakes you got there, you pig. That's what I hope for Megan. I'm not a big soccer fan, but I'm way less of a fan of this disgusting reptile bitch and her getting down on her knees while she's wearing USA on her uniform. You're disgusting. Thanks, Jim. You got me riled up, and I was in such a good mood. Now I'm annoyed. Nah, it's all good, though. We got Sally Hackney. Had a great time at the first watch party, but just couldn't stomach the second one. You know, it was such a big different tone between the two of them. And they say that like it was just a random selection of who was on the first night and who was on the second night. That's bullshit. That was a clear A-list and B-list at the top. The bottom players, that's a different story. They were just fill-ins and like whatever. Like I don't even remember who their names. A couple, 4 or 5 people at the lower end of the pool on the first night, and then we had whoever I don't know half their names. We had the lady who won the raffle to be on a Democratic debate from the DNC website. She was in there, the author lady. She was actually kind of bright, except kind of insane. I can't remember what I thought she was a combination of. This is probably really obscure too, but it was a combination of the charms teacher from Harry Potter, not the charms teacher, I don't know, that one with the glasses. I can't remember. I'll post it. I'm fucking this all up. But like she was a little whacked out and she talked really funny. Like I don't know if that was an accent or like a birth defect or a speech impediment or whatever it was, but she was really hard to listen to. She was really uncomfortable to listen to. But she was kind of fun to listen to too in comparison because everything else was just such insanity. But big difference, and not a random one in my opinion between the first night and the second night. That seemed like it was on purpose. I don't think you just coincidentally have, those 4, Buddy G and Gropey Joe and Bernie Winkleballs and Kamala Harris and all on the one with just Pale Feather on the other night. I think they took her out as the weakest of the headliners and put her on the first one just to make it so it wasn't obvious. She was like the headliner of the shit show the first night and then let the other 4 go on the set. But that was clearly, there's no way that was random. I mean, I guess it's possible. It's not 20 people. It's supposed it could be random. That was just weird. And excuse me, the other thing was the viewership on that was so, there's such a disparity between the first night and the second night. And if you remember, I pointed it out during the party on Wednesday that there was only like 2.2 thousand people logged on to MSNBC watching that. And it was a snooze fest. Nobody was saying anything. They were just, whatever, just spewing their nonsense. The second night, there was points where there was like 50 or 60,000 people watching, and they were saying today that it broke records. Like, so there was a huge difference between those two panels, and none of that really means anything. It's just an observation. But let's get back to what you guys thought about it. But yeah, Sally Hackney had a great time at the first watch party. Couldn't stomach the second one. Yeah, that was a lot to take. Carrie Dole, you hosted some awesome Democratic debate parties. So much fun with the PCS fam. Kevin Kirkwood, I would not have watched them without PCS. I got a lot of that, and that's cool. I'm glad we did this. You know, we covered a lot of things for our folks out there. Mindy Brower, I'm a bit late, but hey, what's up, Mindy? Glad you're here. V. Marie, loved the PCS company. Couldn't stand the debates though. On the high side, the left is absolutely starting to eat each other. You know, I thought they were going to go off on each other a little more. I was hoping so hard that Bernie was just going to just get a little blast of like whatever remaining testosterone he has in his body and just turn around and just throw a blow at Biden, and then just all hell breaks loose. That would have just been I would almost have voted for a Democrat if they did that. If just a brawl broke out on the stage, would have been the fucking funniest thing in the history of broadcast television. It didn't work out, but they did get in each other's face. And man, Kamala, whoo, she was waiting to play that race card at the end there. She waited till the last couple minutes, and the opportunity popped up, and she jumped all over it and just ripped Biden a new one. And he took a hurting on that. He was in spin control all day today. I'm not going to get into a rant about Biden. We all know what he's about. He's a dirtbag. He's got no chance of being president. He's just, I mean, but then again, none of them do. It's just silly. The only ones who are even like marginally rational and seem coherent and intelligent and well-spoken are the ones that like are polling at less than 1%. The Democrats want a complete psychopath. They want a complete lunatic to be their nominee. And you know, what is it? Is it just surrender? Is it their way of just making as big a fucking mess of this whole process as they possibly can by picking the biggest freak goon out of the whole pile to be the candidate? Because it could be that. Are they just giving up and saying, fuck it, man, let's just get the biggest psycho and make the biggest mess we can. Let's throw this author lady in the mix and see what she can do. Let's see if she can swim. Could you imagine? But you know, it was 4 hours of watching 20 people tell us why they wanted to be president, and there was a lot of talking and nobody said anything. And as strange as that sounds, it's exactly what it was. Nobody said shit for 4 hours. It's the same thing you've been hearing all along. It's all the same things they've been talking about. They all got, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to Medicare for all, and we're going to fix climate change, and we're going to, and not one of them could tell you one thing about how they were going to do any of those things. And to their credit, the moderators jumped in and tried to press him, and they still wouldn't. They asked him a same question 2 times and 3 times, and they just wouldn't answer it. They wouldn't tell you how, because they don't know. They're just talking shit. And it all comes back down, every one of those things, and every underlying intent to all of the things was Donald Trump sucks. We have to get him out of office, and we're still trying to win 2016. That's what it was. It was 4 hours of complete unadulterated bullshit and talk and words that mean nothing to try and bring down President of the United States. That's it. That's what you got out of that. Now, here's the thing about the Democratic debate. Hang on. Bessie, I got to get that lighter fixed. All right, I'm good. That was a relight, not a new one. You can't have a debate with 10 people on the stage, okay? You just can't, because you're not going to get anybody. Nobody's going to be able to elaborate on anything. Not that anybody would have, but the opportunity's not there. You're just going to throw something out there and have people give you 1 or 2 sentence answers. There's not going to be any substance. When the next round of debates comes around, which I don't even know when it is, but I guess whatever, in a couple month or two, something, I'll check it out. You're not going to have 10 people in those debates. You're not going to have 2 sets of 10 people. It's going to narrow down. You know, you're going to have 5 or 6 by that point, because a lot of people are going to pack it in. De Blasio has no reason to go to another debate. You know, even Gillibrand, the cheerleader, the author lady, Raul Castro, the hand puppet guy, you know, maybe not him, because he actually wasn't awful. He was one of the least, like, horrible ones in the whole thing. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, these people are going to fade out. and you're going to have less people, and it's going to just by nature have to get more in depth. So they're going to have to start saying something. They're not going to just be able to not answer questions for 2 hours when it's only 4 people or 5 people. So the dynamic to the debate is going to change, and hopefully it'll be a little more entertaining. I don't give a shit what they say. I just want it to be more fun. That's all. They'll speak a little longer. I'll get to type a little bit more, and maybe I'll get some of my responses. I put like 100 responses on the thing last night, and I had probably 100 more that I just couldn't get my fingers to work fast enough to get out. So hopefully that'll settle down, and we'll see what happens on the next one. I'm passing the scroll and seeing what else is out there. Kevin Kirkwood, right, Carrie, I know this, but they took so much heat from Bernie being aced out in 2016 that I think they cannot take a chance on any funny business. I don't know what the preface to that was, and I'm going to have to go back and check tomorrow. But if you just said that the Democratic Party is not going to take a chance on any funny business, I really want to know what you're talking about, because that's like one of the funniest things I ever heard in my whole life. The Democratic Party? You talking about the same Democratic Party that I'm thinking about? Not taking a chance on any funny business? That's all they've been doing for the last 2 decades, is taking chances on funny business. That's like the most fundamental pillar of the Democratic Party, is taking chances on funny business, and then when shit goes wrong, blaming it on everybody else. So I got to go back and see what the context was of that, but I don't mean to question you, man, but I'll check it out. Kevin Kester, Patience Padawan, they will feed, don't know what that's about. Mona Eves, I was hoping they'd have a free-for-all, right? That would have been so great. You know what would have been hilarious if that little author lady just like kicked it off, just like went and like just walked up to Biden and kicked him in the nuts and said, "Stop touching little girls." Would have been awesome. It would have been great. It would have been the best thing on TV since Al Sharpton got shoved off the stage by that guy on the Morton Downey Jr. show. Oh, live TV. God, I love it. We're going to have a brawl on PCS Laundry Live one night. That could happen, too. Because, like, I'm just out here and I'm just talking into the phone and you guys are all watching. And, like, who knows, you know, like, somebody comes by and, like, just, like, hears things out of context or doesn't know what's going on or just maybe had a few too many. We could absolutely have a brawl on PCS Laundry Live. That'd be a lot of fun. I'm not going to consciously seek it out, but, hey, you know what? That's guerrilla broadcasting, man. I'm all about it. Susan Levy. I wonder if the next debate, Kamala will talk about the time she refused to sit at the back of the bus. I don't know anything about that. I hadn't read it, but that's kind of interesting. She's so full of shit. First of all, Kamala Harris isn't even black. All right? Second of all, she's not even close to black because, like, she's Indian. Her dad was Indian and her mom was white. So, you know, she's just so full of shit. And she's so phony, and the people eat it up. I don't get it. It must be. I don't know what it is. I don't know how you buy that shit. She's just so full of it. It's crazy. Linda Samalink Sweeney. Sorry I'm late. That's okay, hon. Just jump right in. We still love you. Don't worry. Kevin Kirkwood. They think that they need to pander to the last 5% of their base to win. Ja. Vanessa Raphael Zanotti. Preach, Vanessa. What's up, hon? I'm so glad to see you in here. I think this is your first time. Vanessa's a sweetheart. Hi, Vanessa. I'm glad you're here. We'll talk soon. I miss you. Bessie Dotson. Grr, I hate hearing a bick. Sorry about that. Oh, what else we got? Kevin Kirkwood, there are like 10 more dim debates, right? I don't know. If there's one in New York, I'm going to try and go. Because that shit would just be havoc. I can't imagine I'd be in there for the whole time because I'm sure I'd be escorted out. Because I'd cause a ruckus, but I'd just start broadcasting live and they'd be like, nah, that's not going to work. But at least I'd get a couple minutes in. Carrie Dold asked about Iran. They said there would be a response, but not what would be the response. Platitudes while I played a drinking game. They don't have the slightest idea what to do about Iran. They just don't. Not the slightest idea. Iran could beat us. Iran could defeat us and then like invade us probably. If any one of those idiots was the president of the United States. I said this before, too. China and Russia, if Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden or any of these idiots, Elizabeth Warren, imagine this. Just imagine. If they're elected president, they're going to be, like, given their inauguration speech, and Russia's going to be, like, flying MiGs in and to bomb us. They're going to invade us on inauguration day. I would. If I was Vladimir Putin, I'd absolutely attack the United States immediately. None of these people has the slightest idea what to do about any of our problems. Just talking shit. Worse than me. And I talk some shit. And they're talking bigger shit than me. And it's more important shit than me because I can't hurt anybody but myself. They can hurt us all. None of them can be president. And none of them will, thankfully. Because this is just an insane shit show. This is just bad theater and fundraising. This whole process. If America puts one of these people behind the Resolute desk in 2020, we're finished. And we don't deserve anything better than to be finished. It's a joke. It's in lieu of forfeiting. This whole debacle of the Democratic Hunger Games is ridiculous. None of them is going to be president. Betty Hernandez. Castro is a racist pig. This idiot did nothing as a mayor of San Antonio, Texas. So I don't know if was he your mayor, Betty? Like if he's, I don't know if you're exactly from San Antonio. I know you're in Southern Texas, but if you had, like, if you know stuff about that, absolutely let us know. If you want to just like message me or send me an email or something. Hang on. I'm back. Yeah, let me know about that, because I don't know anything about him like being racist. You know, I mean, he's just a bland, plain, no name, unknown, no name recognition, like nobody. And he doesn't look like he's three-dimensional. He looks like he's a hand puppet. And he's just, you know, I mean, he's not a player. And he stepped up nice. Like, he was well-spoken. I listened to him instead of just going right to the mocking. And that might have had something to do with I just don't know anything about him, so I couldn't really grab onto anything to mock him for, whereas Biden's easy, and Bernie Wrinkleballs is easy, and chlamydia is easy. You know, you just got to see their face, and I can come up with 10 jokes. You know, I don't know these other people. I don't know any of the no-names, but fill me in on what you know about that, Betty. Appreciate that, and let us know. Kevin Castor, isn't it circus monkey business? That's pretty good. B. Marie, haha, Biden would answer in soprano. Right? I would just, it would have been so funny if she just, like, kneed him right in the knackers and said, stop touching little girls, you pervert. That would have been great. Lisa Barley Spring, I missed a bunch. What's up with Deborah? Deborah's in jail. She's watching. I saw her click on, but she's in Facebook jail, so she's not going to be commenting with us tonight. And you also missed this, in case you missed it. Since you missed Deborah, you might have missed this. So watch, I'm going to break protocol real quick for you. Here we go. All right, you got that part? Info on that will be forthcoming later on before I end the broadcast. Chris Scalzo's here. Bill Graham, Willie Brown ate it up under the desk. Nice. Liz Palmer McKenzie, the conservative Latina, accused the left of hispandering. She's not wrong. That's a great one. That's a really good one. Liz, message me or something, because I'm going to forget the conservative Latina. I'll catch that again when I do the scroll through tomorrow, when I'm just catching up with everything I missed tonight. But if you remember, message me. Just message me, the conservative Latina, so I remember. I'll go check out that website. That's a great one. Hispandering. Candace Owens, you know what? Let's talk about Candace Owens for just a minute. And it's not a big thing that happened or anything, but I you know, a couple of weeks ago, maybe it's a little longer than that, and I didn't really disparage her. I just, at that point in the game, I wasn't really ready to give it up to her. She's growing on me big time, and she's doing a lot of good things and saying a lot of the right things now that I'm appreciating, and she's growing into the role she's taking on. And she gave me a great idea today, which I'm not going to elaborate on. I'm going to develop it tomorrow, hopefully, and we'll bring it out, and I'll let you know what it was then. But Candace did a cool thing today. If you want to guess what it was, if maybe you saw it, I only briefly saw it, so I don't think it was all over the place. But I'm totally stealing it, and I'm going to totally give her credit for it. But we'll get into that tomorrow. So yeah, Liz, thanks for that. Thanks for letting me know about that website. I got to check that out. Donna Levesque, you couldn't be quiet at a debate. You're probably right. I'd fuck everything up. I'd get thrown out. There's no way. You know, it's like even over here, like, during the summer when shit goes on over here at the courthouse, like they get like not protest. Well, I guess they get protests, but demonstrations, whatever you want to call them, right on the steps there. And when there's stuff popping up, like I'm gonna come over and check it out, and I'll almost certainly say the wrong thing to somebody. And that's what I was talking about before. Maybe I'll end up getting beat up by a whole protest or something. That'd be fucking fun on live Facebook. That'd be awesome. Like, you know, I'd get my ass kicked and all, but it'd be good for the numbers, right? And that's what it's all about. PCS numbers, jagging them up. I'll take a beating for the team and my PCS family to entertain y'all. Let's see. No, but I definitely couldn't be quiet at one of these debates. Like, I'd be losing my shit. I'd be laughing out loud when they were talking. Just, what a disaster that would be. I'd kick ass in a debate, though. You know what? It's just like, I mean, it doesn't look like they're having, like, your formal debate rules in this debacle. It looks like it's just like a free-for-all panel. So I guess I could survive, like, that aspect of it being up there because there's no rules. Like, it's just like, because I'm not good with rules. And I've never been good with rules. But if I just got up on stage, I think the way I always think of it, it's not like in the format that you saw last night. The one that's on my head right now is me versus AO Circus Monkey. And I would just eat her up. Like, I'd destroy her in a debate. And I think I could take just any one of those people on the stage last night. But the thing is, like, I'd screw it up. Like, I'd make it into a ruckus. Like, I wouldn't have, like, a straight-up debate because there'd be no point in it because they're not going to have anything to debate me on. And I'll ask them the same questions, and I'll point out stuff, and they won't have answers, and I'll mock them for not having the answers. So I'd probably be more like, you know, like if I was going up against Joe Biden. Like, he'd say his point and he'd answer his stuff and make his statement. And they'd say, okay, Glenn Hazelwood, your turn. You have 30 seconds. And I'd be like, stop touching little girls. And that's it. That's all I would say to Joe Biden. I wouldn't even, like, you don't have anything to talk about because you're a fucking farce, man. You're a phony. You don't have a platform. You don't have any ideas. And you don't have any way of implementing any of the fake ideas you have. So let's talk about some real shit. Stop touching little girls, Joe. You gropey old douchebag. Stop setting up nepotism deals for your spawn with you know, rival nuclear superpowers in China to make him $1 billion. Stop that stuff. That would be my debate. Like Kamala, I'd be like, you know, she'd finish her statement and they'd come to me and I'd just be like, Willie Brown. Excuse me? Willie Brown. What? Willie Brown. That's all I would say to Kamala Harris because I don't have anything else to say to her because she has nothing to say. She's got a lot of words. Make no mistake. But she's got nothing to say. And those words I just said, Willie Brown, 2 words, say more about Kamala Harris than anything Kamala Harris could say if they gave her the whole fucking 2 hours to talk. So it's about what you say, not the words that come out of your mouth. That's all I'd say to her. Willie Brown. Everything she said, the answer is Willie Brown. You know, Elizabeth Warren. I'm gonna be the school marm, and we're gonna do college. We're gonna. My answer to Elizabeth Warren would be, "You're 1/120,000th of an Indian, pale feather. Shut up." That would be my side of the debate with Elizabeth Warren. You know, and just down the line, you know, I'm gonna go through each and every one of them. I mean, just like, you know, Bernie Sanders. Could you just even imagine? I mean, what an idiot! And that shit he said, and I felt like it felt like it slipped by. When he said that thing, and I don't remember the exact quote, he's like, whoa, we're going to rotate out Supreme Court justices from the Supreme Court. We're not going to just have regular Supreme Court justices like it says in the Constitution. We're going to have a rotation of Supreme Court justices. We'll bring some Supreme Court justices up from the minor leagues, and we'll rotate them in with our starting Supreme Court justices. Fuck Bernie Sanders, okay? You can't be president. You can't be president because that's not how it works. Read the fucking Constitution. Read the rules of being an American citizen before you talk about being a leader. Are you kidding me? That's one of the most vile, offensive things I've ever heard a politician say. You don't fuck with stuff like that. Who the fuck do you think you are that you're going to revamp the Supreme Court of the United States? You're ridiculous. You ended your whole deal last night, you ridiculous old muppet. You're not touching the Supreme Court. No matter what. It's insane that you said that. I couldn't believe he said that. And I had to go back and listen to it a second time. I was just like, wait a minute. He didn't say that. There's no way he said that. I couldn't believe it. Anybody else? What do you think on that? I mean, I was just completely aghast when I heard that. Mary Gunny, it scares me that they might get a lot of the younger people votes because they want to give everything free. They're going to get their votes. I mean, there's not... Look, here's the thing. They don't have to offer much because half of the people in the country are just still mad that Hillary Clinton lost in 2016, and they're still trying to win that election. 2 years later, 2.5 years later, a year and a half away from the next election, and they're still trying to win the 2016 election. It's just the sickest thing ever. It's the sickest institutional thing ever in America. And that's where they're going to get their votes. It's not going to be a popular vote landslide for Donald Trump. If there's any sanity left in this country, it's going to be an electoral vote landslide for Trump. But there's going to be 60, 70, 80 million, whoever gets the vote out. People, Americans, are going to vote for one of these mutants, one of these goons from the Democratic Hunger Games. It's just a reality of it. And it's a horrifying thing. You're right. It's scary. Mary Gunny, you're spot on with that. It's an absolutely scary thing that when it's all said and done, hang on. That was a really, really, really unprofessional time for me to stop. I'm going to start again right where I picked it up. It's a scary thing to think that in the aftermath of this, when it's all said and done, and Trump is reelected and sworn in and everything, that there's still going to be 60 million people out there for another 4 years of this fucking charade of trying to take him out of office. It's not going to end. And there's enough people out there that it's going to sustain it through the next 4 years. And they'll keep going even after that. They're going to be trying to win 2016 for the next 20 years. And what do you do about that? I know I say that a lot. Like I said it a dozen times last week. What do you do about that? What do you do about that? What do you do about 60 million misguided people who are just running on pure hate of Donald Trump with no rationality to it, with nothing to back it up, with nothing to substantiate the reasons they hate him for? Because he hasn't done any of the things they said he was going to do. He isn't doing any of the things they think he's doing. They're saying he's torturing kids at concentration camps on the southern border. Of course he's not torturing kids at concentration camps on the southern border. But that's what they're thinking is happening, and these people believe that stuff. Because they want to believe it, because they're looking for justification of their irrational hatred of the man. And that's where you get this from. And I just don't know what to do about it. And it's absolutely scary. Mary Gunny, you're absolutely right. It scares me, again, what Mary said, it scares me that they might get a lot of the younger people votes because they want to get everything for free. It's not just the young people. There's a lot of people out there that they're going to get. And it's an awful thing, and it's absolutely scary. All right, I got to catch up. I'm way behind on the scroll, so I'm going all the way to the end, and I'll back up from there, and we'll read a couple. Kevin Kirkwood, Hillary was a much stronger candidate than any Tim running today, in my opinion. You're absolutely right. Because you didn't know about, well, you knew she was a grimy bitch, but you didn't know the depth of it until she really started getting looked into hard during the campaign. And all the grime started coming out because they stirred it up, and they were looking for grime. And then you found out the depths of what an absolute scumbag she is, and what an absolute friggin' twat goblin she is during that, all right? In and of itself, on the surface of it, Hillary Clinton was a way better candidate than any of these people. None of them has any personality. None of them has any... They don't have... We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, about how Trump has the X factor. He has that intangible that you can carry off just being outside the norm and not working within the same parameters that have always worked for a candidate before. He had that. He had that X factor. And as sick as it is, it's like the polar opposite of Trump's, but Hillary had that X factor to some extent too. She could get that across, maybe because people were afraid she was going to kill him, but she could do that. She could carry that. She could pull that off to some extent. There isn't one person in this field of 25, I think it's 25 now, that has the charisma, that has the personality, that has the X factor to run a campaign against Donald Trump. It's just ridiculous. think about, okay, we're watching the debates last night, and we're watching these goons just go at each other. And that was funny, okay? It was, it's like, haha, look at this. This is a freak show. Can you imagine any one of them going up against Donald Trump in the debate? First of all, they're going to talk just like they talk now because they think that's what's going to work, and they believe they're right, and they think right is going to carry the day. And it's not. It's not going to carry the day at all. Forget the fact that they're not right, because they're going to be talking. And the thing about it is, 10 feet away on the other side of the stage, Donald Trump is going to be pacing and rolling his eyes and laughing and waving his hands, and just you're going to be watching him like, I can't wait to hear what he's going to say about what this idiot just said, and not even listening to the Democrat. It's just going to be a farce. Those are going to be some great watch parties. But there's nobody in this field that can run with Trump. It's just such a silly thing. I don't know. Again, I got no answers for anything. Wow, this went by quick. We're at 7:20 already. And I know I started fairly early, and I was only like 7:35, but this one went by quick. I think it was my little parade, my little pose that I did. I'm going to do another one in case you missed it the first time. But get a couple more scrolls. Bill Graham, we better hope there is not more sheep than us. The corruption that's going on now, and as we get closer to the election. Yeah, man, that's the one wild card. Dead voters and illegal aliens and people voting 5 times, which I've seen happen. Like, I've literally seen it. I saw it happen. I stood behind it online at the voting booth at the polling place in 2012 in the city of White Plains, with basically being the only guy who, I'm ashamed to say it in retrospect, went to vote for Mitt Romney. And I stood, I'll tell you the story, and I think I might have said it before, but not on the live show, but I think I talked about it on PCS, that in 2012, I went to a polling place in White Plains to cast my vote, and I stood online next to 3 women who I literally listened to them making their lunch plans, where they were talking about, we're going to go to this place for lunch because it's right near that other polling place on the other side of town, and then we're going to go, I know the girl over there, and she's going to let us vote again. I swear on my kids, I heard somebody say that. These 3 women had every intention whatsoever of freely going to a second polling place on election day 2012 and voting 2 times. So, yeah, that shit happens, and that's what you're up against. So, yeah, Bill, I mean, that's a great point. It's not even about the sheep so much. It's about those cheap factors. It's about those invariables, the intangibles that you just don't know what are going to pop up. You know they're going to try and, get as many illegals voting as possible. You know they're going to not purge the dead people off the vote. They're going to cheat in all the conventional ways they've been cheating for the last couple of elections. But who knows what surprises they have in store in their little Democratic cheating labs that they've cooked up since 2016, where they, you learn from shit. You learn from sucking at failing. You learn from sucking at cheating an election and losing anyway. You can't help but learn from that. What they retain, what they come up with, who knows? But that's a wild card, no question. Good point, Bill Graham. Chan Whitman Gonzalez, I don't think so. I think they are done. Maybe 43 million. I don't know. It's too early to even start talking about that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Carrie Dole, if any one of them win, we're toast. Man, if I don't know what's going to happen. If it was the other way around, I think it's a little easier to predict, because if there was a Trump-like, a Trump-esque Democrat in office, and Republicans were trying to take them down, and it was the Democrats that were upset with the outcome of that, I think it'd be a civil war within weeks, if not days, because they're animals, a lot of them, not all of them. I always kind of disclaimer that when I say stuff like that, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about people I talk to. I'm not talking about people I know. I'm just talking about in general. They're savages. They're just animals. And when they don't get their way, they act violently, and they act in your face about it. And I think something like that would take it to the extreme. But on the other side of the coin, the people who lean more to the right don't have those tendencies. They just don't have that in their gut. You don't see that stuff. And if it was happening, you'd see it. The leftist sock puppet media put it in your face and in your newsfeed and on your TV constantly. And they try and do it anyway. Anytime somebody even remotely does not fit the typical stereotype for a leftist. They automatically try and make it somebody on the right. And then it unravels, and then it disappears from your newsfeed. You don't see it anymore once they realize that they were wrong. So what happens after that? I mean, if a Democrat wins in 2020, I don't know. I don't know what happens. It's obviously a horrible thing. It's a long way off. Let's just not let that happen. I think this is the best tack to take at this point. And I don't have an answer for you. I rarely do, but that's that. Mona Eves, anybody hear Jimmy Carter say the Russians interfered? Senile old goat. Yeah, okay. Jimmy Carter, first of all, the guy's 116 years old. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't. He could be talking about Eisenhower and running in for his election. I don't think at that point, and it's not a shot. It's just the reality of life. The guy's like an unbelievably old man, and he seems like he's in good health, but you look at him and you listen to talk, man, he's not 100%. Okay, anybody who I offended by saying that, I apologize. If you're 116 years old and you're completely in command of your faculties, my apologies. I wasn't talking about you. Okay, that's number one. Number two, this is the second worst president in the history of the United States saying this. So, take that for what it's worth, too. In 1976, you could have put like a bag of onions on the podium for the debates in the aftermath of Nixon and Ford being a bookmark for 2 years. Anybody could have won that. I could have won that election. Okay, so it was the fact that he was a Democrat. He was a hideous president. He's not a bad guy. I'm not saying anything bad personally about Jimmy Carter because he seems like a decent human being. And he does a lot of good things for people, and he does the Habitat for Humanity or whatever, the building the houses. If I got that wrong, correct me. So it's not about him personally, but he was a horrible president. He was, until Barack Obama came along, he was the worst president by a mile that we ever had. The thing is, man, it popped up today, and I started seeing that, and a couple of times I started typing something in, and I was just like, I just want to ignore this. It's so silly. And it's so stupid. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't have the information to know what he's talking about. He doesn't have the ability to process the information if he did. And it was a stupid thing to say. And I want to watch it. Like, I think it was a video. I just want to see if he's got the context right. I'm not going to bash a 120-year-old man like who can barely even like get dressed in the morning. But he shouldn't have said that, Jimmy. You shouldn't have said that. It was a stupid thing to say. And that's not the way to, get your last moment in the sun on your way to the graveyard by saying something ridiculous and stupid like that and giving the Democrats just more fuel for the fire. It was just a dumbass thing to say. I'm going to catch a couple more scrolls, and we're going to start wrapping it up. Betty Hernandez, President Trump is going to wipe the floor with any of those clowns when the debates come. It's going to be the best thing ever. I can't wait for those debates. Gregory, no. All that corruption will result in a civil war. I don't know. That's an awful thing to ponder, man. One day we're going to get into that discussion because it's something I don't even like saying it because the connotations that go along with it. It's not going to be like it was 150 or whatever years ago when we had the last one, when you had a clear line in between the sides with the Manson-Nixon line there. And one side wore gray and one side wore blue, and it was two armies, and they had a dividing line. It's going to be a mess if that happens. And a lot of people are going to die, and nobody's going to come out of that unscathed. So let's hope that, that's not what it comes to. Are you wrong? I wouldn't tell you you're wrong. I'm talking to Gregory. But that's such a deep, dank, dirty thing for a country to have happen. And there's just, I'm not going to get into that now at the end here. I don't want to put a whole hour into it. Maybe we'll do a special edition PCS Laundry Live or something and just get into that one day. I don't know. It's something I just don't even want to address. But Liz Palmer McKenzie, Pocahontas. No, she's not Pocahontas. She's Pale Feather. Donald Levesque, we need voter ID reform like now. Brenda Lentz, he will win. Bill Graham, Brenda Snipes in each polling place. Jim Thomas, Dems won't allow it. John Joseph is here at the end. We're just getting ready to close, man, but thanks for jumping in. Catch us earlier next time. Catch us on the replay. It'll be on YouTube and all that stuff, too. Cheryl Anderson, I'm late. You are as late as you could possibly be because we're shutting down in about 5 minutes. But I'll have it reposted on Facebook for the replay. We'll have it up on the YouTube channel tomorrow. Talk about the YouTube channel again. Thank you, everybody who came out and jumped in on the YouTube channel and subscribed on there. I'm going to post a link and plug it a little bit more. We got to get to 1,000 people on the YouTube channel, 1,000 subscribers before I can broadcast live on YouTube. So I'll post the link afterwards when I get settled tonight after I'm done with my laundry and get my food and everything and get home. And I'll take care of that. Liz Palmer McKenzie, I'm off to pick up my kid from work. Good night, everybody. Brenda Lentz, God's got this. Marie, I got to get dinner on the table, group hugs, all the fine folks here. Okay, so we're late. I'm going to wrap this up one more time. Hang on, just take a look and watch me. And just watch. And here we go, in case you missed it at the beginning. Here you go. We got t-shirts, ladies and gentlemen. PCS t-shirts are in. I told you all the information before. If you would like to get a Planet Common Sense t-shirt, one of my pieces of paper just blew away, and I'm not chasing it. So I'm going to tell you, if you have Venmo, the Venmo app, that's me on Venmo. You can electronically pay me. Total is $23, and I'll get into the details on that on a post after the show. Venmo me at Glenn-Hazelwood. Shoot me $23 tonight. I will send you a t-shirt out this weekend, just like this one, except smaller or bigger. If you do not have the Venmo app and cannot pay electronically, we take mail payments. Email me. Oh, I found the piece of paper. Here we go. Email me at planetcommonshirts@gmail.com. If you'd like to get a t-shirt and you don't have Venmo, you want to pay by mail, email me at planetcommonshirts@gmail.com. I'll give you all the information about the shirts there. Thanks to everybody who reached out already. It really didn't even, this was tonight was like the official reveal for the shirt, I guess. But I did start talking about it last week, and I've had a lot of interest. I sent the first shirts out yesterday to the people who purchased them. Got a bunch of purchases off of the Venmo app. I got a lot of people said there's checks on the way. Hopefully I'm going to see some tonight when I get home, because it's probably about time they started showing up. And we're rolling with the t-shirts. So thanks to everybody who reached out for me on the t-shirt so far. I hope you like the design. Buy some shirts. As always, thank you all so much for your undying support of Planet Common Sense on Facebook, PCS Laundry Live on Friday night, and everything else we do. I love each and every one of you. Awesome time on the watch parties. We will definitely do that again. Everybody have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on the boards. And I am out.